Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to. Oh, I gotta take this off. Oh, I got the wrong guy up here. There he is. There he is.
What gives?
What do you mean? What gives? You can do stuff too. I don't always.
I actually am, but the thing is, I don't want to step on your toes at times, and so I don't want to mess that up.
Oh, I don't know what's going on then. I don't ever know what's going on.
Jeez, man, come on.
I don't know. I saw that you put a bunch of stuff up on the page.
I did. Good morning, everyone.
What's going on?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I hate my laptop. I really do. I really hate it.
It doesn't like you either.
It does not like me at all.
Yeah. So, where do you want to start?
It hate my guts right now. Hey, folks, this is the X-Fan Show live Thursday edition. It's XFL week. If you haven't figured it out by now, we are 2 days away, sir. 2 days.
That is true. And I've rocked a different XFL hat this week so far.
Clap it up for yourselves. Clap it up. I'm taking out a page from my boy Draymond Tez.
What's that?
No. It's not a what, it's a who. Thank you very much.
What's that?
He does his clap before every show. So before he gets going with each show.
What's he do?
Of who's to blame. As a matter of fact, he's going on right now. if I'm not mistaken, I think he go Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So tomorrow is his show, Who's to Blame. Shout out to my man Draymond Tez. Yes, this is definitely Van. This is Kickoff Central. I am so happy right now.
Is it Kickoff Central? Because apparently we're not big enough to be Kickoff Central.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. But guess what? For the fans, we are. And they're going to have, as a matter of fact, I'm glad that you brought that up. The XFL is doing their own kickoff show for. What are you doing?
I forgot to add something. So here, you said you wanted some applause.
You see, I got my Houston Roughnecks thing together. I'm taking that to the game tomorrow, Saturday.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm gonna take that to the game Saturday and see if I can get some signatures and see if Wade Phillips actually wants to shake my hand and whatnot. We'll see what happens.
I wouldn't shake your hand.
Oh, you really? Says the person. Yeah, no, I wouldn't shake your hand either because you're sick as a dog.
Oh, I feel fine today. I mean, look, as you noticed, I've been wearing a different hat every single day. Today, I'm rocking my Sea Dragons hat. So it's time. 3 years in the making. The bell is ringing.
Yes.
We are here.
Yes.
Saturday, we go with the kickoff with the Renegades and the Vipers. And then Saturday night, we go with the Roughnecks. And who are they playing again? I forgot.
The Guardians. You being funny. I know you are.
No, I was trying to remember. So that's Saturday's games. And then Sundays, of course, you have the Brahmas taking on the Battle Chickens. And then
is that what you call them?
And then you have the Defenders taking on the Sea Dragons.
Yes.
So there you go. 3 years in the making. It is here in Arlington. Put up the first piece of thing that we want to talk about, which I know is going to be good.
What do you mean?
Well, you said you were wanting to talk about something about XFL content, so put it up there.
Oh, if I can. There it is, right there. Ladies and gentlemen, XFL Today is the new digital show. Of course, like Dirty said, we're not good enough. I guess that's what he wanted to throw out. But instead, the XFL has it right there. They're expanding their coverage. There'll be a pregame on YouTube. It'll also be on the ESPN social networks and, of course, the XFL app. There it is. So make sure that you tune in before every game. I'm definitely going to do it before kickoff on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
You want to definitely tune in for that. Hey, also.
Right, put that back up there because I find something very interesting, Arlington. Put that back up there because I want to show you something.
All right.
You know, we always said that our show has always been our show has been often imitated, never duplicated, right? It said led by your signature host, Jason Fritz and Scubby what? What's his name?
It said Scubby?
Yeah, Skubie. Scooby. Oh, okay. I would not have
like Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, I would not have said that. With a regular appearance by Andrew Hawkins, the show will premiere Sunday, February 19th at 1 p.m.
Also, it'll be after. It'll be after the fact.
On social media, on the ESPN social, YouTube, and the app. Here's the part, Arlington. Are you ready? Highlight that
yes,
part.
I see
part of the show. Interact with the host live via the YouTube chat.
But hey, so I find it interesting that they're doing this before. Huh?
I mean, I would think you would do it Saturday before.
Yeah, I do find it interesting that they are doing this before the San Antonio and St. Louis game, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But go ahead and take it off. I find it funny that which, hey, I'm loving it. Are you going to take it off or are you going to leave it up there?
Yeah, I got it. I got you, man. I got you. Chill out.
I find it great that the XFL is doing stuff like this, where in 2020, they didn't do that stuff, right? They didn't do this kind of stuff. You had shows like ours. At the time, you had shows like Mark Perry at Newsroom. You had guys like Stefan at News Hub who would do shows. Newsroom, News Hub, whatever, and shows that would interact with the fans, right? Ours being the often imitated, never duplicated show that has been around for 3 years. But now the league is actually seems to embrace it and brought in their own group, which, hey, that's awesome. Yeah, but it wasn't a live show. It didn't interact with fans like this show and like apparently like this show is going to do. So, hey, more power to them. I hope it works out. I'll tune in to watch the show. I can tell you that. Now, I just I think it's great that they're getting ready to do it. I would have started the show on Saturday at 1:30 before the show, before the games, instead of on Sunday. But that's just me. But that's why they get paid the big bucks.
So the question is going to become, sir, are we going to do it Saturday?
No, you're right. Saturday has all the specials. I get it. I get that Saturday has all the specials. Before the game's on ABC. I get it. Are we going to do it on Saturday? I mean, I don't know. I mean, should we?
Hey, is that Rissa Brown?
It is.
Hello.
So,
Hi.
I mean, that is the question. Are we going to do it on there? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's going to be our main question. I see our guest has joined us in the back.
Yeah, I guess that's arrived. As a matter of fact, today coming up on the show, as a matter of fact, coming in just a little bit, we'll have Mark Nelson of XFL board. There he is.
He looks a
And
lot better
yes,
than you.
say that again.
Looks a lot better than you.
Thank you.
We had people on that look distinguished. You notice, look at his beard.
Look way better than yours, man. Look way better than yours.
Distinguished. We're distinguished. You're not so distinguished.
Oh, really? Okay. Look who's talking. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Go on.
He's an XFL board. He has a brand new book coming out called XFL 2020. So yeah, we got a book about that season, XFL 2020 rise and fall, and we'll touch a bit about that with him. And also we'll because we didn't go over what we were going to talk about. Where are you going to watch the game? Where are you going to be?
Look, why are we going to keep Mark on? He's right there. Let's just bring him
on. I had to go over the rundown real quick before we did the show, man. Calm down.
Go on.
Well, go ahead and bring him on since you're such in a hurry to do so.
I'm still a little loopy from the medicine.
Really? And you decided to come on? Hey, at least have better enthusiasm than what you do right now, dude.
Oh, I will. Don't worry. I feel the blood flowing. We got blood flowing.
It's getting back slowly.
Yeah.
It's getting back slowly in.
Finish your rundown so we can bring the guy on. Jesus.
All right, I'm done, man. Plus, we got a whole bunch of stuff that we got to discuss because we got a lot of news, and we may go overtime today. So just letting you know up front. All right, our first guest.
I'm gonna take a nap.
Our first guest is from XFL board. Again, he is the author of the brand new book that's coming soon, XFL 2020 Rise and Fall. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Mark Nelson. Mark, good afternoon to you, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon to you. Actually, it's morning, so I don't know where you are.
Oh, where are you? Oh, I'm over on the central close. You know, it's lunch hour for most of us over here. So,
well, it'll be afternoon soon enough. So, yeah.
Yeah, he's got a point, Arlington. It's not really afternoon until after 12. It's still 11 o'clock, so it's still technically morning.
You know what? I understand that. I get that. You know, but a lot of people like to use their lunch hours and they jump off at 11 o'clock and they want to make sure they get their full hour in at any given moment in time. So, but Mark, great for you to join us on the show today on the X-Man Show Thursday. First off, you got the book XFL 2020. What was in your mind when you were putting this book together?
Oh, definitely the top thing on my mind was the story should be told because something happened, and if someone like me didn't put it down in writing, then the story will disappear. So it was an important story, I think, and it especially in the way that the story of XFL 2020 bridges the gap between 2001 and 2023, which is the story that's being written right now. So
excellent. Also, like what were the main factors in the book that you really wanted to capture and touch on when you decided to put this book together?
I think the differences starting with the differences between 2001 and 2020 was how Vince McMahon was in the background in 2020, and he did that on purpose. And it worked because nobody thought this was Vince League, and really a lot of people thought it was Oliver Luck's league, and which is what Vince really wanted to do. He wanted to take himself out of the equation. And something that someone very high up in the league explained to me recently was in 2001, the XFL was about ego. In 2020, they took all the ego out of it and it was about players and about the game. So they basically hired people that they thought would be good for the league and as described as football experts, football professionals, whereas in 2001, they hired people that they liked, like their WWE, at the time, WWF personalities were hired. This time they didn't do that. So they really worked hard in taking the ego out of it and turning to the football game and the players.
Now, Mark, so right here, because this show is led by the fans and driven by our fans. Phil has a question. He says, Mark, would the XFL 2.0 have been successful without COVID? Now, before I get your answer, I know that me and Arlington have talked about this on the show. There were certain things that were discussed before COVID had taken over that I don't think the XFL would have been around after that 2020 season, no matter if COVID had happened or not. COVID just happened to happen and take us out. So, what I believe doesn't matter. But with you writing the book and the things that you might have learned over the time of writing this book, do you think XFL 2.0 would have been successful after COVID?
Well, my personal opinion is one thing, and I do believe it would have been. But, excuse me, from the point of view from people that ran the league, including someone who I spoke to, the league president, the former league president, Jeffrey Pollock, he was very sure the league would have continued on. And some of the ways that they were sure of that was through the analytics that they've collected on, especially on fan support. It was way higher than they imagined it would be, and their sponsorship revenue was higher than they predicted. So they were actually going towards a successful season monetarily and with followers, with fans. Now, some of the places where they had problems, like in New York, for example, where they had low turnout to games, their plan was to go to a smaller stadium, so renegotiate and get a smaller stadium there. Also, they had plans for Tampa Bay and LA, and they wanted to stay in those markets, but their plan was to work harder to gain support in those markets. So basically, just to continue on and not to abandon, especially LA. They did not want to abandon LA. So they had full plans to go forward, and they really thought that they were successful. That was their analysis.
Yeah. Now, let's go with that, because actually Phil came up with the follow-up question in that, you kind of answered it about them not wanting to move out of LA and then them wanting to stay in New York and move to the smaller stadium, and then with the whole Tampa thing. Do you think, and I mean, from what you know, and as I've looked at your guys' pages, I know that, you have Greg Parks that is up there at News XFL board working with you. But with the success that St. Louis had, we'd had Kurt Hunzinger on, and he said that, with just the success of St. Louis and how well that they did what they did in St. Louis, do you think that was like amazing? Them and Seattle were like the two major driving points of XFL in 2020. Do you think it was because they saw what those two cities did that they could implement that than in the other cities? Or was it just, I mean, Vince doesn't like to lose money, I mean, do you think that might have had something to play into it?
Oh, it had a lot to play into it. The success in St. Louis was something that they were using as one of their, obviously, a point of success. And the fact is, they were about to open up the entire dome in St. Louis. If the pandemic hadn't done what it did, they would have had that dome. I think it would have been filled. That's my opinion, because that's the way it was going. And St. Louis had a great team too that year. So I hope they have a good team this year.
Oh, see, I'm saying it right now, and I've said it on this show. St. Louis is only going 5-5.
Yeah.
St. Louis is going 5-5.
Well, 5-5 might be good enough to get into the playoffs this year if the parity is there. If the parity is there, then 5-5 will get you there.
Right.
So,
now, all right. Go ahead. Go ahead. You're good. No, you're good. Go.
All right. Speaking of, because I want to mention what was like. I remember correctly back in 2018 when Vince had made the announcement that the XFL was returning. I'm sitting there at my desk. I was doing I kid you not, I was actually substitute teaching that day. And I'm looking at this announcement, and I said to myself, why is the XFL coming back for 2020? Because nobody asked for it, at the time, but nobody needed it. But he saw something that I did not see. And what do you think was that reason why he decided to bring the XFL back in 2018 to get to the 2020 season?
Well, there's some theories. I mean, nobody really knows except what goes on inside his head. But some of the theories are when Charlie Ebersol produced a documentary for 30 on 30, This is the XFL, and that played out. And Vince was in that documentary. And especially at the end of that documentary where Charlie Ebersol sat his father down, Dick Ebersol and Vince McMahon. I don't know if you've seen it. You probably have. And Dick Ebersol says to McMahon, he says, "Do you ever think of trying again?" And McMahon said, "Yes, I do." And of course, that was the end of the doc. So, oh boy. So what happened after that is Charlie Ebersol, who started up the Alliance League, he asked Vince to buy the XFL. He said, "I'll buy the XFL," and the reported price was $50 million. Vince said to himself, this is the theory, he said to himself, why does he want it so bad? There must be some value there. So Vince didn't sell it to him. So Charlie went off and created his own league, which Vince knew he was going to do that. But Vince undercut him and announced the new XFL or the XFL Resurgence before Charlie could announce the AAF. Of course, Charlie's AAF had a 1-year runway. Vince's league had a 2-year runway. And I think another reason Vince thought he wanted to bring it back is because he knew the formula. He knew what failed. So he said to himself, I can do this now. I know what'll work.
Is that what you're capturing in the book?
Yes.
As we're talking to Mark Nelson of XFL 2020 Rise and Fall, is about how he built a entire football league for the second time around? That's
right. Yeah.
Excellent. All right. So were there any any excerpts in the book, because it's coming soon, and I want to get my hands on that book, because there was another book that came out for 2001. I don't know if you're aware of it. It was by Brett Forrest.
Yeah, I've read that. Yeah, I've read it. I understand it. Yeah.
Did that have any inspiration for the 2020 book?
A little bit. I mean, Brett Forrest, different writer, as he was. It's some inspiration, but the fact is, there's really that one book about 2001, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, somebody had to write one about 2020.
See, I want to take it, Mark. I want to get it when that book comes. I have a spot right here.
Oh yeah,
right here. I want to put the book right there, so it's shown on the show. I want to put it right here.
Well, that's great.
Where people can see it.
So somebody should send you one, is what you're saying.
Maybe, or let me know where I can get one so I can have it displayed on the show.
And do you want me to send you the little rack that you can stand it up on too? I can do that.
Sure, that'll work. Now, Mark, let me ask you this. You know, we all knew about 01, right? But 2022, and especially here, yes, I will read a book. It's few in between, but I will read a book if it interests me, and I think this one will. But Mark, let me ask you this question. We all know what 01 did, but when 2020 came out, the XFL, it seemed like there was something different about it. I mean, we've been doing this show for 4 years still about the XFL.
Yeah.
Like, and I've said it, and me and Arlington have argued about it and all that, because I'm in St. Louis. He was in St. Louis, then moved to Houston. But like, to me, now you tell me if I'm wrong by what you've seen in this book that you've gotten. But like, the Battlehawks, for some reason, has had that lore in the St. Louis market that, in my opinion, that they have more of a hardcore following than the St. Louis Cardinals did. They had a more hardcore following than the Lambs did in just those 5 games. And I mean, in those 5 games, I mean, like, you got Jimmy on here, who's a Renegades fan, who is still preaching XFL, been preaching XFL.
Mm-hmm.
You got the mayor up in Seattle who's still preaching XFL, the Sea Dragons, the Dragons. Like, what was it about that 2020 in those 5 games that just captivated people that said, Jesus, we want this. We want this kind of football. Like, from you writing this book and what you've learned, what was it that captivated people for that?
Well, I think in St. Louis, it was, would I be remiss in saying, it was the lack of football in St. Louis.
Right.
So that was a big thing there. And of course, in St. Louis, I don't know what happened. There's some formula there. Now I've been to St. Louis. I know what the city's like. It's very beautiful. But you had a bunch of grown adults running around going caca to each other.
Yeah, idiots. There you go, Phil. I said it. Idiots running around going caca. Idiots.
Yeah, I'm joking. I think it's sweet. It's wonderful. So what was it? And in Seattle, of course, Seattle has an NFL team, and they had just finished, their season, and then all of a sudden these other guys show up, and they had popularity too. Is it because the people of Seattle enjoy football more than any other American city? Oh, geez, I doubt that. I mean, come on. I mean, we're talking some football hotbeds here too, like in Texas and in St. Louis, of course. But I don't know. I don't know what it was. It was something about that game. And maybe it was because one of the things about it is it was on network TV mostly, not all, but people could watch it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it was on Saturdays, which was, maybe nothing else on. And there was, so I really do believe that part of it was the formula they had. They had a good formula for a football game. And some of those sideline interviews were the best parts of those games.
Mm-hmm. Loved them.
I mean, come on.
Loved them.
Yes.
And there's a few of them that I've written into the book and described what occurred in some of the sideline interviews and gave homage to the sideline reporters and to the main staff and the Skybox crew, and I tried to include descriptions and texts of how all that happened. It's actually quite a thick book.
Look at
this is a proof copy that I have.
Right.
Sorry. And it's 314 pages.
Nice.
With an index.
That's good reading. That's good reading, man.
With an index. I don't know if you can see that.
Yep, we can.
Yeah. I don't see you guys in the index though, by the way, but maybe I should have written.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
All right.
That's all right.
We're used to people forgetting about us. Don't worry about it. Yeah. We're good. We're used to people forgetting about us, Mark. It's all good.
So I tried to reference as many characters as I could in the book. Because in the index, I'm reading Johnson, Josh, Johnson Pepper, Jones Cardale, Jones June, Jones Landry, Jones Marcus, Jones Matt. It's like keeping up with the Joneses here.
Did you have anything about the Pat McAfee situation, when he got involved with with being a sideline reporter for the XFL? You got anything referenced in that about it?
About Pat McAfee specifically?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't. Yeah, I'm not familiar with what you're talking about. Maybe
because there was one. He thought that he was supposed to do one thing for sideline reporting, and then they told him they wanted to do another thing instead. And he was like, "Yeah, I'm good after this one game." And it was the game in Dallas, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. Really? Was it the first game in Dallas, or?
Yeah, it was the very first game in Dallas, and he thought it was. So he thought he was supposed to run out to the field, after it was over, talking like, why would you make certain things, and this, that, and the third. And they told him, no, that's not what we were looking for, even though they said they wanted something that they were looking for.
Yeah, so, I have Pat McAfee mentioned on that game as being a sideline reporter, but I missed out on that piece of the story.
Here you go. So Jared says you should put me in because I went through a flaming table and it went viral at a tailgate in St. Louis. I mean, I think I've relived that enough over the last 4 years. I still have people talk about that. Yeah, so let's not. Mark, what do you do?
You were trying to put the table out. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
it's a hero move. It's a hero move.
Right, exactly. So when you decided to write this book of the 2020, because there's been things where I've thought of man, wouldn't it be cool to do something like this, but about St. Louis and how the St. Louis fan base had just stormed, gravitated to the Battlehawks. Like, did you have to get a lot of permission from this league, or was this more like you just said, I'm going to write this book, reach out to the league, see what I can get from them, since they now bought the rights to all the XFL. Like, what was that process? How did that lead up to getting to where we are now with the book being in print?
Well, you just started writing about the different parts that happened, and a lot of it is public domain. For example, when the XFL hired Oliver Luck, I mean, that was all publicly announced. So, I mean, that chapter the information was there. I never did get a chance to interview Oliver Luck, although I did interview a lot of the people involved, including the president or the former president of the league, gave me some advice and some information. And so a lot of his employees, some of his employees agreed to talk to me. Yeah, but you know what? A lot of people, I said, I want to talk to you. I said, I want to talk to you about this. And they said, nope.
No,
That's understandable.
really.
Right. So, I mean, I include them in the book, but I don't have much of their opinion.
Mhm.
I have, I talk about what they did. So that's basically what I did. So if you want to write something about St. Louis fans, then I would recommend you interview a bunch of fans and their opinion of the St. Louis Battlehawks and start forming a story.
Well,
There you go. There you go, Dirty.
And I can't write, or I can barely.
But you know how to talk to people, man. So come on, man. You could get and then just take your camera and do it that way.
Yeah, I don't like half the fans on this show that watch this anyway.
Yeah, well, just cut those ones out.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, he treats him right. Look, it's just that's why he's the bad guy on this show. I don't know why, but he's the bad guy here.
So, bad guy and good guy.
Yeah, right. Good cop, bad cop. That's how we have to do things on this show here.
Now, the other thing, though, is for the book is when the XFL 2020 was occurring and prior when it was ramping up, like during the draft and the showcases, I was interviewing players for XFL board. So I got a whole lot of players telling me what they thought, what they were going to do, how they felt. I have interviews in the book about players that were cut and how they felt and why they thought they were cut. The story of Cole Tracy is a very interesting one. It's included in there, how Cole Tracy was waiting for his draft to XFL 2020. He never heard his name called, but then Seattle called his number just at the start of training camp, and they brought him in for training camp, and then they cut him right at the end of their training camp, and they hired Garrett Hartley, the NFL kicker. Garrett Hartley didn't pass his medical, and then Garrett Hartley recommended Ernesto Lacayo, which Lacayo came and then he kicked for the Dragons. Did I say Dragons? Or I think I got the team right. It was Dragons, right?
Yeah, well, it was the Dragons. So, now it's the Sea Dragons.
Right.
Yeah.
This brain has got to get used to all this. It's like stop calling the Tampa Bay Vipers like the Vegas Vipers.
Okay, I'm glad you said the Tampa Bay Vipers. Let me ask you something. With you being the fan of 2020, right? Yeah. Like, I don't know what team you were a fan of or what team you preferred in 2020. Hell, I'm just going to ask you, Mark. What team did you prefer in 2020?
Oh, I liked them all.
Okay, see, smart answer.
I don't live in an XFL city, so I'm like, I just watch them all.
Right. If you just said the Vipers, I'd have kicked you off the show, but that's beside the point. But you didn't say that.
No, you wouldn't.
No, I really wouldn't. So, like, when you were writing this book and you just told the interview, your thing with the interview that you did, like, what was one of those? What's like one of those players that stick out to you?
Oh, I know. Yeah. James Butler, running back for Houston.
Okay, and why?
James Butler was brought into Houston at the first week of their training camp, and he had been on the which team was it? He had been on the practice squad NFL team for 5 times in a row. They kept rehiring him. He never got any playing time, so he went for a workout in Green Bay. And Randy Mueller called him and called his phone and said, do you want to come down to Houston and play or come to our training camp? So he said, well, and he wasn't sure because he was on an NFL practice squad and this was the XFL. So Randy Mueller, who's a bit of a wheeler dealer and quite a fantastic director of player personnel, he convinced him to come down to Houston for the game film. So Butler, he went through training camp. He beat out a running back that was supposed to be ahead of him. And in the first game with the Roughnecks, he scored 2 touchdowns. And one of the reasons why because I wrote an article about him on XFLboard.com, and I posted it. And I'm like, well, nobody knows about this guy, but I'm going to post this article and tell people about him and who he is. And he's a very nice gentleman, by the way. Very good interview. And the day that he scored two touchdowns, after he scored each touchdown, XFLboard.com went down because of traffic, because nobody knew who he was. They Googled his name and all they found was this article that I had written. And there was I'm looking at the Google Analytics stats, and there's hundreds of people piling on the website at once. So yeah, James Butler, not only did he score two touchdowns, he brought down the XFL board twice. But that's to me, that's the player. He was unknown, sitting on a practice roster, and then all of a sudden he was famous in Houston, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And where is he now? He's in the CFL.
Right.
He's doing fantastic in the CFL. He just re-upped with the Hamilton Tiger Cats. So he's staying up there. I think he's in love with the CFL now.
Yeah.
All right. We're talking with Mark Nelson, author of XFL 2020 Rise and Fall, and he's of XFL Board. You can check him out at xflboard.com. I think what I want to ask you about the 2023 season itself. Now that we're here, we have all the teams. We got the new San Antonio Brahmas into the mix. What are your expectations for the league going into a couple days from now?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking at parity. Maybe Arlington. Maybe I think Bob Stoops has a good team this year. I really think Seattle Sea Dragons have a good team this year.
Yeah,
because of their coaching. The quarterback, the levels of quarterback on each team, are they the same across the board? I mean, who has the strength there? We don't really know, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the coaching in those two, in Arlington and Seattle, they could be better than other teams. So I think parity, but those two to be better. The Brahmas, I don't know. The Brahmas look good as well, so they're up there as well. But if you read different websites and different media outlets and on their power rankings, which is kind of silly to make power rankings before the season started, but the ones that have attempted it, they're across the board. It's just a mix, and even Vegas has a little bit of a mixture of odds depending on where you look.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, hey, because I want to know. So, if you got some week one predictions for these 4 games, which will be your 4 teams that you would pick for the week? So Vegas at Arlington, who would you choose?
Arlington, home team, right?
All home teams is what you're picking for this week?
No, but Arlington, not only is Arlington strong, but they're at home. So
okay. So what about Orlando and Houston?
Houston at home because they're home.
All right. San Antonio, St. Louis.
San Antonio, sorry, because they're at home. Sorry.
And Seattle and DC. You got DC or Seattle?
No, I got Seattle beating DC.
All right, it's time to kick him off the show.
I mean, last XFL DC beat Seattle. I think they're going to return the favor. Seattle's going to walk in there, and Duden Jones' offense is prepared, and they're going to light it up.
Excellent. Hey, before you go, tell all of our listeners where they can find you on social media, how to get in touch with you about your new book.
Well, the book itself has a social media account, XFL Book, on Twitter. There's also a Facebook page. You can always go to the book's website, xfl2020book.com, or Google it, or better yet, go to Amazon, look for XFL 2020 Rise and Fall. You can't see the Rise and Fall because there's this banner over it that says that it's not for resale, because this is a proof. The real books don't have that. But look for XFL 2020 Rise and Fall on Amazon. You'll find it, and you can buy it there today. It's on sale. Excellent,
Mark. Excellent work. And this will not be the last time we'll have you on the program, man. This is awesome, and we want to definitely get more insight with you as the season progresses. Is that all right?
Yeah, sure. I'll come back. Yeah, we can talk more.
Excellent.
Especially talk about XFL 2023 and how I was completely wrong in all my predictions.
We'll see. Because we got to give our predictions too, and we'll give real ones this time and see how everything we feel about it. Okay. So,
All
Mark,
right.
thank you so much for coming on board and joining us today. And best of luck with the book. I'm definitely getting my hands on it.
Yep. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. It's nice.
And I'm getting the book. Can I get the book signed?
Like with a sword?
Please, no.
Is that what that was? The sign of Zorro? The
Yeah.
sign
You
of
missed
Zorro?
it. You missed it. That was a Battlehawk thing, man. That was
I
for
know,
a Battlehawk.
I know what it was, but I wanted to say, Too Dirty, the biggest XFL idiot fan, Mark Nelson.
What if I mix that up and say to XFL fan, the biggest, dirtiest something?
Whatever. Say whatever it is that you want. I don't care.
Yeah.
And I'll display it right here. So
Yeah.
everybody will see it right there. Everybody will see your book right there.
You betcha.
I will display it. All right, Mr. Nelson, thank you for joining us. I do appreciate it.
Thanks for having
Go
me.
get his book, people. Go to
XFL.
Amazon.
XFL 2020 Rise and Fall is now out on Amazon. All right. Thank you so much, Mark.
All right. Have a nice day.
Yeah.
All right.
You know,
Yeah,
it's not every day, Arlington, that we get somebody way more professional than both of us.
Yeah, because it has to make you professional for once in your life.
Does that work? Does that really work? No, it doesn't.
But you did, though, for the most part, 95% of it.
Yeah, that's true. I did. But that's far few in between.
So why am I'm having to check out in the comments and people are starting to get negative? Come on, man. It's almost week one. It's almost week one, folks. We got
look,
games.
I think, and I've been reading them. That's why I didn't really bring a lot of them up, right?
Yeah, don't.
No, the one thing I do want to say is I understand where the whole negativity thing comes with the league not surviving, right? I understand that. I get it. So I don't know. The biggest lady just got into the room. The good doctor just got into the room. I think her Vagisil finally kicked in. I feel better. But anyways, I get why people are negative about the XFL. It has failed twice, right?
Yes.
And especially in cities like St. Louis and cities in San Antonio where they had Charlie's League and Charlie's League failed, right? I get why you could be the negative because you never know. You never know what's going to happen. We're never guaranteed tomorrow, right? We're not guaranteed 5 minutes from now. Literally, Arlington, I could click off this air. We could click off this air and I could die right now, 5 minutes from now. You know what I'm saying?
I get that. Yeah.
So
okay.
let's and this is the thing that's irritated me the most. I'm not being negative, and I don't think a lot of these comments are being negative, but it's like right here what Phil says. Brian, not being negative, just being realistic about how hard this is. We've already got to buy in a full board and push hard to keep this thing viable. Yes, you're right. Here's what we got to realize. That screw talking about expansion. Screw talking about let's do this and let's do that. Let's do it one game at a time. Let's support it one game at a time. Let's go to as many games as possible. Let's DVR every single game. You're right, and it won't be because of us fans. Ultimately, if this league does fail, it won't be because of the fans. But for us to help it even more is we need to watch every single game. I don't care if you're a St. Louis Battlehawk fan. You need to be watching Renegades games. You need to be watching Vegas games. You need to be watching Roughneck games, Sea Dragon games, Orlando games. All of that. If you're a Brahmas, you need to be watching every other 7 teams.
Because those are games, those are opponents that you're going to see later on during the season. Remember, it's a 10-game season. Every opponent is going to be pretty accessible.
Right there. Buy the official merch. I just saw on Facebook somebody had posted, I don't feel sorry for you because you're an idiot that you went and bought a t-shirt because you didn't want to spend the to buy it from the XFL shop. You got a blurry logo and it's all jacked up and your shirt's terrible. That serves you right. That's like me jumping to a flaming table. I deserve to get burned. So you deserve to get a shitty shirt. Go buy your gear from the XFL shop. If it doesn't have this logo on it right here, don't buy it. Don't. Now, there are certain third parties that are affiliated. Find out who they are. Put that back up.
Yeah, because it's a good comment. So far, things have been a bit unconventional with the league, which is very, very true. And I think that's the difference from this and the previous regime. And I understand we were looking for everything to go the same timeline, the same way that XFL 2020 went. But they chose not to do that because, quiet as kept, they knew what they were doing. They knew how they wanted to get things done. It was not going to be what you and I or any other Joe sports fan wanted to, how we wanted to have it done. Mm-hmm. They were going to do it the way they wanted to. And when you say folks is giving it a shot, yes, that's what we're going to do, because it's going to come down to what it looks like. Again, I've said this so many times. It's all about the presentation, what is on the field. That's what's going to be the major key here when it comes to this iteration of the XFL.
It's
the game
that you
play.
Say that because
the game
that says right there.
Hey, I haven't got you. I guess you got an early chance of seeing it. I haven't seen it yet.
I'm talking about like the stuff that you've seen so far on the TV.
Oh, you're talking about the commercial things? Yes. And
yeah,
plus,
right here.
It's right here. What Brian said. Disney believed in it.
Yeah.
If they
you
didn't,
could say, listen, you could say what you want about Disney, but listen, if Iger has it his way, bye-bye ESPN, bye-bye channel ABC. Bye-bye.
But that's a whole different game here.
Okay, the question is though, is if Iger does get rid of ESPN like he says he's going to, the dude just cut 7,000 jobs. If he does do like he says it is going to make ESPN,
it's going to be spun off.
Is it going
That's what it is.
Is it going to be a viable standalone company? No, and it won't be.
What do you mean it won't?
I don't think it will be. I don't think it
How
will
come?
be. Not with everything, not with all the new way of technology is, right? That's why I don't think ESPN will be as viable as a standalone company as it could be. Yeah. Oh, you listen. I don't know. He won't sell Hulu over ESPN. He already said that. He already said it. He said he'll get rid of ESPN before he gets rid of Hulu because Hulu brings in more subscriptions for him. ESPN doesn't. Hulu, you pay to have Hulu. You don't pay to have ESPN. That's what Iger's about. Iger's about money. Iger's already said it. You could go back and read the article that's been out there. Iger has already talked about it, and it was in the Wall Street Journal, talked about spinning off ESPN completely and ABC because they're not paid services. The ESPN Plus app doesn't even have the subscribers that they thought they would have. So it's that simple. Hulu, you pay to have Hulu. So that's why he ain't getting rid of it. It's plain and simple. Iger's already said it.
Okay.
So
all right.
Don't be surprised. So that's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I hate to scare y'all, but XFL just got a new sponsor.
Yes, they did. I love it. Flo.
And there she is.
Flo. Right, yeah.
Progressive.
Right, Jarrett. How's that working out for ESPN and the NHL? NHL's garbage.
But that in the meantime, they have a new sponsor. It's Progressive Auto Insurance. And congratulations to them and getting a big sponsor such as Progressive.
I've heard his earnings callings. I know that he said he's open to selling Hulu, but he also said he's also wanting to he'll sell ESPN too. So, yeah. Yeah, like right here. Look, right here. See, look. On a side note, NFL Ticket is going to be on the YouTube TV now. So put Flo back up because the good doctor's right there. He says Flo is hot. Right.
Really?
Yeah. Brett says
Yeah.
love Flo. She needs an XFL tattoo. Flo back up there. I would love to see Flo standing next to DJ. And as he gets ready to say, "Can you smell it?" she stops him and says, "Wait, we cannot have you say that because I don't want it to hurt your voice, and we don't have right and she stops him from saying, "If you smell what The Rock is cooking," to make all of the fans upset. I would love it because The Rock's voice isn't insured. I think that would be great. Can you imagine how many butt-hurt people there will be as he's getting ready to go? If you smell it, she goes, no, wait. You cannot say that because your voice is not insured. I don't see that, Amanda. You look more like a hyena than you do Flo. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, God. Hey, you going to open up a can of worms with that one. Amanda just opened up a whole can with that. I'm telling you now. I'm gonna feel bad for you. I feel bad for you in this case.
Right, yeah. Right. Here. Like Brett says, watch all the games, peeps. Just not your teams. You're absolutely right.
Right. I cannot wait, man, because I'm watching that first game Saturday. So hey, we ain't got but I thought we was gonna go into overtime, but maybe we won't. Hey, Jesus. All right.
I gotta take a nap. But no, let's get to it. Week
one predictions, man. Hey, the depth charts are out, folks. Mm-hmm. The depth charts are out, man. I was shocked when I saw Vegas at Arlington.
There you go, Jarrett. And look, if you don't want it to leave, sign up. How dirty? How can you hate the NHL? Second best sport out there. Stop it, Phil. Stop it. You almost made me cuss. Say it.
You did already. So what are you talking about?
It almost made me say the big word. I didn't say it. Almost.
You already did, but I understood the context. I understood that you were upset, and you were upset.
I didn't
so I
say
understood.
the F word.
No, you didn't. You didn't.
You know?
But it's okay. You're okay.
Yeah, I like figure skating more than I like the NHL. I agree.
All right, but Vegas at Arlington, man. Still on the depth chart. The depth charts for Vegas. Were you surprised that Luis Perez is labeled as the starter over Brett Hundley?
No.
Not
at all. What did Brett Hundley do in the NFL?
He had to back up many people. Come on, man.
Exactly. There you go.
So did Luis Perez. So what does that have to do with anything?
Exactly.
What did Luis Perez had to back up people too and didn't get a chance to play? So what are you talking about?
But what did Luis Perez do in the spring leagues?
He played in them. Brett was in the NFL when it happened. So what are you talking about?
So what? He was in the NFL. Yeah, right, Phil. Exactly. He just got to the team.
Yeah, you said
Here's the thing with Hundley. If he was such a good starter, he would have been starting in the NFL. I don't think he knows how to read a playbook. That's why he's not the starter in Las Vegas.
Huh?
You heard me.
You talking about Hundley? You talking about Hundley? Right?
Hundley probably can't read like I can't read. That's why he's not the starter.
Golly.
That's why he's
that cancels his appearance on the show.
No, he will end up being the starter. Listen, he will end up being the starter for the Vegas Vipers. Just not week one. He's only been there, what, a week, 2 weeks?
Okay, so you saying, okay, you did say week one. Okay, you're right,
yeah. You're right. I mean, look, I can't read. I can barely read half of these comments people are putting.
Okay, so right now Arlington is unsure, according to the depth chart, of who they want as a starter. And it says Drew Plitt or Kyle Sloter. It doesn't say.
Listen, okay, you got my picks, right?
Did I get your picks?
Yeah, you wrote them down, remember?
See, now you got me. No, but you gave phony little scores to him.
Oh, I did. Oh,
Yeah,
anyways,
you gave some phony, crappy scores today.
listen. What my thing was, I was watching the roundtables, right?
Okay.
No, I love. Don't get me wrong. I love Coach Wade, right? But
Okay.
the dude's 99 years old. Dude's 99
Come
years
on,
old.
man.
And I think he might have a case of dementia going on. And that's why he can't figure out who a starter is.
Sir, I guess that counts as Wade Phillips' appearance on the show. God dang it.
But no. I mean, listen, he probably wouldn't even remember my name, and I probably wouldn't even remember what I'm saying right now. That's just the way it is.
Dude, I'm supposed to be. Now, I don't know if it's going to happen. I'm supposed to be going downtown tomorrow for the Roughneck fans to be down at City Hall when they're about to get a key to the city.
Yeah, see, look, he's a lovable guy. Maybe just not a great head coach.
His name ain't Wade Wilson.
He kind of looks like Wade Wilson if you think about it.
He don't look like no Wade Wilson.
Hey, listen, yeah, he's a legend, but he never won a Super Bowl as a head coach. This is a defensive coordinator.
So you're choosing, at least this is probably the only real score that you gave was that Vegas over Arlington, right?
Yeah.
You sticking to that, right?
Yes, I'm sticking that.
All right. What? Don't put that up. Don't put that up. You do that, dude. I swear. It's funny though. But don't put that up. All right. I hate some of my people, man.
Welcome to the X Fan.
I love him, man. He better be lucky. I love him. I love him to death.
Welcome to the X Fan show, where you never know what the hell is going to happen on it.
Exactly. But yeah, as long as you don't post it again. Okay. So Orlando at Houston right now is Paxton Lynch as the number 1 guy, and I haven't seen the Roughneck started yet.
I mean, listen, how many times do we have to give Paxton Lynch a chance?
No,
right?
All right. Hey, I'm gonna tell you now, folks. Check out the Rough 'Em Up podcast. That's right. I'm on it. Me and this great gentleman, Colin Watkins, man.
What is
there you
that?
Go. That's my guy, Colin. Hey, what you're not going to do? What you're not going to do?
Hold on, put him back up. He looks like the kid from The Flash. The TV show.
What you're not going to do? What you're not going to do, sir, is talk bad about my co-host, man. What you're not going to do?
But yet,
not going to do is do that.
You can talk bad about me on this show.
Yeah, because it's you. That's why. It's you.
Gotcha. It's you. He also looks like the kid from Spider-Man too.
Shh. He got his webs together.
Bet you that would be a little tricky when you're doing certain things.
TD ECU Stadium, folks. I'll be there on Saturday night.
Good. Arlington.
I think so I said Houston over. I said Houston over Orlando. Ha!
You said what?
No, it's just on your screen.
I didn't hear you.
That was just on your screen. 26-18. I got for Houston over Orlando. I said 26-18.
You think so?
You still can't hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you. I'm just playing like I can.
Yeah.
Because that was.
Okay.
Pick.
That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
I think the Renegades are going to knock off. I think the Renegades are going to knock off the Vipers. Is going to be a score of 27-19. That's what that's going to be on that.
Oh, the Renegades play the Vipers. Yeah. No.
The game where you're going to be at, right?
Listen.
I hate that you're going to be there. I hate you so much.
All 3 Texas teams win. Sea Dragons win in DC.
Negative.
Colin is a great host. Here we go. Everybody's wanting to kiss Colin's ass now.
Lay off, dude. You'll hear it in the Rough 'Em Up podcast dropping today. There you go.
No,
see, look at that ugly face.
I know, right?
Anyway, all right. So I got 20. What was I saying? I did say Houston's going to beat Orlando.
I'll put respect on what I want to put respect on.
That's right.
respect
That's
no
right.
one.
I know my Texas guys is gonna back me up.
I don't respect no one. I don't even respect my own co-host over there.
I know you
even
don't.
respect myself. I
Look,
don't even respect myself.
the truth comes out, right?
Where can you find the other podcast at?
I have that information on the X-Fan show.
That is the X-Fans. This is.
I will have it when the show's is over, is what I'm saying.
No, I don't respect the cackling hyena who keeps chiming in. I can't spell respect either. RESPECT.
All right, we gotta hurry up, man, so we get out of here.
Oh, okay.
St. Louis and San Antonio. You say you picked San Antonio, right?
I don't even respect the Battlehawks. Yeah, of course I'm picking San Antonio.
I'm going with the Battlehawks on that one.
Oh, of course you are.
Yep, I sure am.
Of course you are.
And see, I guess we agree on Seattle and DC, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, listen.
Seattle.
listen. Listen. With the
37 to 16 is the score.
Right, yeah.
37-16, baby. There you go.
I mean, listen, I don't see anybody that's going to compete with the Sea Dragons. That offense, everything they have is.
Seattle might be Houston 3 years ago.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Hands down.
Seattle might be Houston 3 years ago.
Right.
They're gonna get those eke out. They're gonna get those little wins where they 38-35, them type of wins and stuff where you expect them to lose and they wind up winning. I hate that.
Oh, all right. Yeah. The Seattle Sea Dragons, yeah, I think are gonna go all
They're going all the way to the championship.
Oh, yeah.
So you're not betting the Battlehawks to get there either?
No, listen, I told you, Battlehawks are going to go 0-10.
No, you said 5-5. You said 5-5.
5-5, and they're not going to make the
playoffs.
They're not going to make.
How you gonna do that? And you had Coach Beck on this show.
Listen,
and then you got the shirt, and then you got the shirt sitting there on.
I got great shirts. I got this great shirt that was done by the mayor, right there.
You suck, man.
I have this shirt right here.
You suck, man. Like, for real.
Fill the top. This shirt here. The mayor, this is a collector's item because the mayor only made a select few. It's a collector's item. You can't buy this.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
Dirty said Orlando would win game 1 this year. We'll see. Yeah, they're winning.
So Dirty's picks is
Vegas,
Houston, San Antonio, Seattle. All right.
What did I say?
Vegas,
right here. See, Jared's got it.
Orlando, San Antonio, Seattle. See, I have them here.
I can't read that. You did it.
I know you can't. Hey, so those are Dirty's picks.
All right. The race cars.
Oh, I forgot to do that. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
So we got these cool race cars.
Do you actually get to buy them, or are they just making them?
He's just making them.
Do we actually, or is it like a legit thing?
Like, he made these. Like, that's pretty freaking good to make them.
But hold on. Is that like legit? So, like, is that like a real car?
No. He customized it for a game is what he did.
Okay, gotcha.
But hey, it's a lot of detail that he put on it, man, because I can't lie, that's pretty amazing how he did those. So I like him. I don't know about you.
Well, let's just hope he doesn't get in trouble. That's all I have to say.
I don't know. I don't think so, but it look amazing. And it looked good, man. I mean, to put that kind of detail on it, I hope they was able to. Hey, it's just hey, I would not mind seeing the XFL, everywhere, advertised everywhere. NASCAR.
Look, I would love for a NASCAR to turn right.
They can't.
What I would love.
Hey, they are slick, but I'm saying, but put them on advertisements everywhere, right? If you start to see this start to ramp up.
We all agree that the alternative logos are better than their primary
logos.
Some of them, yes. Some of them are.
Yes, I agree.
And I like the logo behind you better than I like their secondary logo.
Oh, you talking about the big H and stuff?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, where y'all watching the game at? I told you where I'm watching it. I'm going to be there Saturday night, and then I'm going to be there Sunday at the Alamo Dome.
Oh,
Yeah.
listen to this. Listen to what Dave said.
Oh no, we good. We good on that.
Well, he's writing down with us.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, okay.
I know. But hey, Friday Roughnecks fans, want to see you down at City Hall?
I don't.
Because you won't be there. Because you'll be on the road.
I would like to see everybody in that Houston area. That means Arlington. That means where else? San Antonio. Go to that Houston shindig. And because support it. Oh, by the way, if you are going to the game this Saturday. Sunday for the Brahmas game. Please go by Lot B. Bring some canned goods with you. The Brahma Mamas are taking donations for canned goods. Taking donations for the canned goods at the Alamo Dome. You notice I didn't call it the toilet dome, but at the Alamo Dome, they will have bins at the front doors where you drop in your canned goods. For the local food pantries down there, please, the Brahma Mamas are putting this on. So if you're going to the game on Sunday, please bring your canned goods.
Please do that.
Anything
You're
else?
doing it for a good cause, so let's do that and bring the community out in San Antonio. And I know Viva Texas is going to help out with that, with the Brahma Mamas and RC. Shout out to the Smoking Guns podcast. Hey, the Rough 'em Up podcast will be dropping in a bit. I'll make sure that information is out on X Fan Show.
The vegan waffle sucks.
Hey, so Dirty's picks are Vegas, Orlando, San Antonio, and Seattle. Mine is Arlington, Houston, St. Louis, and Seattle. So we're gonna see after week 1 who's the best. Let it be me. So
that's not gonna happen.
All right. Hey, man, throw the theme music on so we get up out of here, man.
Oh, and check us out everywhere. We are on Amazon Music now. Radio partner. We will soon be on iHeartRadio. What's the other one? Oh, iTunes. We're on Spotify, Anchor, XFan Network. We are the Legion. We are a legion of fans.
Because we are many.
We are many. With that said,
but she made her pick on Wednesday. Did she not?
Amanda isn't allowed picks.
She made her pick on Wednesday night.
She did?
I thought she did because she battle hogs all day.
Anyways, this is the X Fan Show. You guys have all irritated me for taking 7 minutes out of my nap time. And I'll see you guys on Saturday. Do what?
9 minutes of your nap time.
It is my nap time. It is my nap time. X Fan Show. Subscribe now.
See ya.
On the major podcasts. Bye-bye.